talking about legal hold and regulated user. So, Maria, do you want to start? Because I know you had some questions for Tony or needing some clarification on some things, and that'll give me a chance to find my notes and the things I wanted to ask him. So, turn it over to you.
Okay, so can you guys hear me?
We can't hear you if you're talking, Maria.
How about now?
Yep.
All right. Okay, so I guess let's just start with regular users. So right now we are on hold for the DRB pre-approval documentation because we need to figure out the roles, the ACLs and roles on that department. So, like, we didn't talk about who, like, is it gonna be I emailed you a few weeks ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, and then you talk about something um, related to,
Maria?
yes,
Okay.
yep.
And there are some ACLs out there, like sysapproval, and I think sysemail, where it says to see this record, it checks to see, do you have read access to the record that it came from? So that was my question. I'm like, is that feasible? So that way, if Tony Vecchio doesn't have access to HR and I go into the conversation log table, I won't have access to see those HR comments. If that's feasible, that I think would be the right way to do it.
There is something, Greg, would you be able to help me out with this one? Is there a role there, already existing role?
Well, I think what you'd have to do is you'd have to send a keyword. So you're controlling how the record gets into your daily conversation table. So if you wanted to add an extra layer of security, you could add a source field to the table, and the source field could say, HR, CCN, whatever. And then if the source field has one of those values, then you could have an ACL check for additional access, like, for example, HR Core Basic for HR record.
Well, I think the way that I was thinking this could be done, like, and I'm pretty sure sysapproval works this way, because you're referencing like creating like a field that's like, broad, like HR. Instead, it's actually saying this is the actual sys ID in the actual table. So you would store like SN HR core because it came from that table.
Okay.
And then there's a function that basically says, does the user pass the ACLs on this role or on this table?
And then you evaluate to true or false.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's doable. Now that I understand what's being asked for, we would just have to capture that information when you create the record, and then we would have to work on the ACL that could that has that function.
Okay. All right.
So other than that, Maria, are there any questions for Tony to help you, let you move forward with doing this work?
Not with regular users. That was the only thing.
Okay.